Okay folks, welcome back to Let's Play Breath of Fire 3 on the Mysterious JG. Haven't played in a while. Had spent like about half an hour trying to get this thing recording setup going. I don't know, my desktop and my laptop don't particularly like talking to each other. It's a shame because eventually I'm gonna have to get around to doing StarCraft Brood War, or not Brood War, but Heart of the Swarm. Anyways, oh hey, I didn't know that Ray was chilling out over here. What you got to say, buddy? Or are you even there to interact with? Are you just decorative? The rock does your best friend in the desert. Dude, if you get lost, you can use him to get back here, brother. Wonder if other members of my party are hanging around. Oh, wait, no, I'm retarded. He's part of my party, and he got stuck on that thing. Okay, now, if you'll remember from last time, we followed this guy's written directions, and therefore, we died, lost in the mystery of the desert, because his spoken directions are different. Also, I got confused, and I thought that you needed to drink water 3 times, one for each party member active in your party, when you're told to drink water. That doesn't make sense in retrospect. So let's talk to this dude. What do you want to know about, dude? I want to know about walking in the desert, brother. It's very important. Listen carefully, dude. About directions. You can find your way in the desert by looking at the stars. The North Star, dude. It's Horace Hogan, brother. I guess that's why I was making him talk like Hulk Hogan, dude. It always appears in the north and never moves, dude. If you follow it, you're headed due north, brother. This one's the false North Star, dude. Sometimes appears at different heights depending on the day, brother. It can fool you, dude. Be careful not to mix it up with the real North Star, big man. And this one is the Evening Star. It always appears in the west, but not always at the same height and in the same place. If you're in the center of the desert, it'll be due west, dude. If you lose track of where you are, dude, in the desert, you're done for, brother. Make sure you keep your eyes on the stars, and thank me for the help, big man. One last thing you need to be careful about is after breaking camp or a battle, make sure you check what direction you're facing. If you forget, you could end up in a lot of trouble, dude. Anything else you want to know, brother? Why need the actual directions? You just had to get out of the desert. Okay, so I gotta follow the North Star to the north. Then when you can see the Evening Star directly to the west, head east. How will I know it's directly to the west again? Okay. I guess I'll give it a shot. You have to go north until you're at the center of the desert, which is when the that Evening Star is directly to the west. But how do you know when it's directly to the west? Are you leaving already, dude? Go back to the desert. You should wait for night and leave then. Good luck, dude. So we're going to go north until the Evening Star is directly to the west, at which point we head away from it to the east until it disappears, and then we go due north. So this is north. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we have a total of 16 turns we can take, which means 4 turns to the left is due west. So we need to keep going north until turning 4 times to the left shows us the Evening Star. 8 turns would be facing directly south, and 12 turns to the left or 4 turns to the right is directly east. Okay, got that? Good. Do it without frame skip just so you guys can get the true epic boredom of this particular minigame. I mean, it's nice that it's giving you a much better sense of this huge scale of journey than most games give you. Every so often I remember an RPG giving me a real sense that there was an epic journey that took place, like there's just this cinematic at one point of Squall carrying the unconscious Renoa across a bridge, which when you see this bridge from the main map screen, it's obvious that he walked for a really long way. But by and large, it's like you're crossing the entire world in like 2 seconds, and you never really get the sense that the world is a big place. Maybe it's easier to be impressed when you're a little kid. I remember when I was really little thinking that that big desert that the floating palace of Tiamat is eventually found over in the Mirage Tower from Final Fantasy, that felt big to me. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are not yet far enough north. Your throat's getting dry. You should have some water. So we are going to use the water as soon as we're told. We're not going to play around at all with that. Saw a fact that apparently there's some hidden stuff you can get out here by taking other paths. And that sometimes involves actually stretching the water out a little bit more, but we're not doing any of that right now. Maybe later. Basically, the ultimate sword and ultimate armor for Ryu, which you can also obtain from fishing, you can obtain from the desert. So there's 2 different ways to get it, and since he's the only one who can use it, there's no point in getting 2. Oh, we just spun around, spin-a-rooney. Do, boo, do. Enemies? Oh my god. Ooh. Either this thing is one of the Breath of Fire's trademark enemies with very low hit points and very high defense, or we're just like totally outclassed here. Or it's weak against whatever the hell element Ryu has on his sword and strong against whatever Rei and Nina are using. What kind of weapons are they using? Because whatever they are, can't really tell what kind of elements they are. Oh, I guess it was damaged by the electric weapon. Ooh. I guess we'll look for treasure while we're here. There's usually these little maps that have a treasure of some kind. Oh, okay, I just had a little panic moment of just hitting the button that I thought was the hitting a button that I thought would fast forward, and then realized, oh, you know, messing around with certain keys in this before has given me problems with cutting off my commentary track. I've got things set up right now so I can actually occasionally pop up and see, is the little icon that says it's recording my commentary track still lit? Oh, a swallow. I was really worried about being able to find one of those before when I was trying to get one of the masters. You know how to be a master. Of course, we're not really using the masters very much, but yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Evening Star is not... We're not at the center of the desert yet. Now, considering the directions they gave us, I mean, you wouldn't want to go off those directions if you didn't know what you're doing, but we're going directly north, then directly east, then directly north again, which means that in theory, you would have to be able to get out of the desert by going, like, north by northeast in some way. Not there yet. The sun is risen. The sun is rising. Walking during the day only wastes energy. Time to make camp. Walking during the day is kind of a bad idea since you can't see the stars. And we spin around. Little spinneroonies to try to create more confusion. So, have mixed feelings about this. I mean, I like the flavor of it, that there's this really epic journey that's going on in the game, but it also just feels like a desperate stalling for a game that doesn't feel like it's delivered enough hours yet, but doesn't have more story to do. Okay, we don't get to talk to him. Probably should have known that from last time, but like I said, it's been a little while since I recorded. Phew, it's so hot, I'm panting like a dog. We're supposed to head north, right? As long as we can see the stars, we should be alright. It's a long trip ahead. Better conserve water as much as possible, so we don't all look dead like before. Don't this just beat all? Everywhere you look, sand. How are you supposed to know which way you're going in this? I have this vague notion that, that Dart and his crew had just crossed the desert when the Legend of Dragoon LP, you know, kind of withered and died that I'd been watching, but I don't know. Break after resting. Somewhere Dart is getting ready to fight Lord Mayo, but the LPs just haven't quite wrapped yet. Let's break after resting. Let's break after needlessly angering Bobo. Boom. Boom shakalaka. Okay, we're not there yet. So it's getting dry, to have some water. We need bigger canteens. We have enough people, they should be able to carry plenty of canteens. You know, we could leave behind, say, the mackerel and the horseradish. I mean, we probably caught this mackerel like 50 videos ago. There's no way it's still good. Especially when in the middle of crossing the frickin' desert, too. Swallow Eye I really should just use, but now I'm worried about how I would go about getting another one, so I don't think there's any more points where I'll need them as ingredients in a recipe for how to get a master, but... You know, in theory, I'm walking directly north, then directly east, then directly north, so... I guess I won't know how far east to walk unless I wait till I'm to the correct point. Because you're supposed to walk until the evening star is no longer visible behind you. I would say, why don't I just start walking east and then turn and I'll walk north all in one shot at the end. But no, I won't know how far east to walk. That's why. Anyway, so how are you guys doing? I do appreciate the little camp breaks between where we get to check in and see how our teammates are doing. It would be neat if they were like actually animated with us walking along in the we could see like Nina holding a little, you know, sun-blocking parasol, and have Momo panting like a dog. I'm glad somebody pointed out she's a dog. I didn't really get that she's supposed to be a dog. I mean, it makes sense. It'd explain why she has this amusing little rivalry with Ray. Ah, we're getting pretty close. Not quite, though. I think last time I went too far north because I was trying to line up those 3 stars that are kind of floating off in the background there. These stars, I was trying to line them up with this star. And I don't think that's actually what you're supposed to do. So I was off by more than just heading west instead of east. I made all sorts of mistakes. I got us thoroughly screwed. And we spin-a-rooney. That'll give me a good excuse to check the stars again. I don't remember if these things attack. Were-Tiger, death. Target loses the will to fight. Things probably hate ice. I don't know. Go for the old Were-Tiger routine. Couldn't steal anything. Regular. Air raid? Oh crud. Oh, what missed? Alright, so let's use a Were-Tiger to destroy this thing. I didn't really notice what Ice Blast did to it. I was checking something else. And Ray loses his shit. This might be a needless risk using the Were-Tiger since I haven't been using save states. I continue to, make sure we're focusing that Were-Tiger's attacks. That really didn't do much good. Yeah. You can't defeat me by bouncing up and down. Guess that wouldn't hurt anything to. There we go. Were-Tiger. Good stuff. We got the battle. We got some experience. Just looking at our levels there. While checking the FAQ on the Mysteries of the Desert and finding out. I did not actually get in-depth tactics on how to get through. I just wanted to make sure that, I had a general understanding how it's supposed to work. But yeah, I found out that you can get the life armor and whatever the hell Emperor Sword, Dragon Sword thing. But I also found out that there are super bosses in this game that we need to be at least level 40 before we have a chance of fighting them. So here I was thinking we were way over leveled. And indeed, these super bosses are tougher than the final plot bosses. That is a little bonus thing I may or may not try to showcase. I don't know what it is about this game. I always put off recording it for the LP. I've definitely been frustrated at some of the stalling tactics, but still, I like the art style, I like the soundtrack, the characters, not particularly complex, deep characters or anything, but they're fun. Hey! That's the North Star, that's the false North Star. 1, 2... I don't think I would have felt ripped off by this game if I had gotten it when it was a new PS1 game. Let's put it that way. If I had played this at about the same time that Final Fantasy 7 and 8 were out, I don't think I would have felt like this was a really crappy game. Maybe not quite up to that standard, but I think I could go just a little bit further north and it would be even better lined up. Yeah, keep going. I'm getting really focused in on the detail of this now. And I'm having a hard time finding, got my TV desktop screen showing me the recording window, but I can't line it up in such a way that I can double check the length of video and double check the double check the fact that the recording is still running at the same time. But now it's time to start heading east. And not west, as that guy's written directions would have told us. Ooh, crossing over little dunes there. Jihao dunes. And hurry up and give us the message that it's time to stop. Sun is rising. Boop boop dee. Spinneroonie. The plant guy likes sleeping outside, I guess. I wonder just how big this desert is. Bigger than your... never mind. Whew, no wonder they call it the Desert of Death. The Devil's Desert. Yeah, I'm going to be repeating jokes like crazy because it's been so long since I recorded the last video, and the same associations pop into mind. I'm sure last time I said something about the Devil's Desert. Sounds pretty neat. Don't forget to check the direction of the stars when you break camp. Good call. I wonder what all these monsters here in the desert eat. They eat me. Probably people like us out for a walk in the desert. Here's the written directions, which are a death trap. It's freaking obnoxious. Now, didn't I remember saying, hey, I thought it was the other way. Oh, well, never mind. I guess I misremembered it. I mean, that's just nasty. I wonder if it's like that in the Japanese version. If it's a translation error, if it's an intentional... That would be the false North Star. Ah, can't fool me, you son of a bitch game. Alrighty. Now, the irritating part about this is that we have to do a full 180 and check behind us periodically to see if it's getting dry. You would have thought I would have some water during the night. Maybe I was afraid of I would be in such a deep sleep I would wet the bed if I drank water before going to bed, or they would just keep waking me up. I have to wake up and pee like 8 times during the night. So without frame skip, I figured I would do this at least once without frame skip, just so you guys get the full feel. This is going to take an entire video, at least. I mean, I didn't spend a lot of time wasting time foostering about at the beginning, but we're more than 20 minutes into the video, and I believe it's going to take us the full video to cross the desert. What a ripoff, man. This huge desert, which is supposed to be this, like I was saying before, it's just really memorable. They give you this whole sense of epic scale of the desert, and it's going to take us an entire half an hour to cross it? What the hell? I figure we probably spend at least one night walking this way. I probably don't have to double check yet. I see that, and then what do? I get nervous and go double check. It is getting lower in the sky. I love the way the avatar just kind of shaking his head around there, wagging his finger like Hulk Hogan. The guy was waiting at the beginning of the desert with our instructions. Throat's getting dry. Don't want permanent hit point loss, do you, Avatar? You would think if we did run out of water that some of these other foodstuffs would be, you know, gonna help. They've got some moisture in them. You know, we should be able to just eat a green apple would certainly help us if we're dehydrated. I don't know if horseradish would help that much, but... And again, obviously, we're carrying around lots of fresh, quote, fresh fish in the desert. Probably not going to keep for very long. I'll never be lost in the mystery of the desert. And by never, I mean not again after having previously been lost in the mystery of the desert. I guess I should say never again. Oh, damn it. See, the treasure's right there. That's handy. But then, immediately we get attacked. I'm not sure why he has lightning magic. If he learned it himself or if he acquired it from a master, but... These guys, This guy didn't seem to like Avatar's attack before. Yeah, it's definitely either got a weakness against lightning or is at least susceptible to it. It might be not just a weakness, but I just did a really poor job against them before. Ouch! What am I doing? I didn't even try to steal from this thing. You could not steal anything from the cactus. In fairness, the cactus did attack. Nina became Penon. At some point we'll have to get back across the desert and revisit our old masters. Another swallow eye. Well, alright, in that case I can afford to use a swallow eye. Agility 22, 64, nice. I guess I can continue to feed the best attribute of somebody, or I can spread the love. I think we want Avatar attacking as often as possible. It's not like magic, where if the guy doesn't use magic spells, you don't care, or increasing it, or strength. There's no point in increasing Nina's strength, because there are no strength requirements for armor in this game. And a turn where Nina uses a physical attack is essentially a wasted turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. False North Star will be right off the screen left there. And off we go with more walking adventures. Boom, boom. Adventures in walking. And, you know, at least one real-life person has complained about these videos that go over half an hour because they're tough to schedule around watching, but I think at this point we just need to have one video where I cross the desert. I want to have multiple videos of this desert trek, so we'll just have one complete video of crossing the desert. And then if I decide to do these other desert treks to get like the life armor and the dragon sword or empire sword or whatever it's called, imperial sword, we'll do that as a separate video, and I'll go ahead and bring back frameskip for that. So it is present. I even found I even found a fact that shows how you can get both in one trip, so we'll probably just do that. Now the game gives you clues that there are items to be found in the desert, but it doesn't tell you where they would be. So this is something where if you don't have a fact or enough interest that you go around just exploring the desert in different ways, trying to search for stuff, you know, you wouldn't be able to find this anyway. I wonder just how big this desert is. Same stuff again. Devil's Desert sounds pretty neat. Don't forget the direction of the stars. Reach for the stars and never leave your friends. I don't know if wandering off camp like that was causing me to rest, or if I have been going around not restoring magic points every time. Yeah, they keep making me face in the wrong direction. They're just messing with me. Watch the Avatar's head closely. He's bobbing his neck around. Alright. So I'm making... It's getting dry. I should have some water. I'm making more or less the best possible time without frame skipping. I mean, in theory, I could be not talking to my party members to save a few seconds. Heading straight for the edge of those random battlefields instead of trying to find the treasure. But no, I mean, I don't think I could shave off more than, you know, 2 or 3 minutes from this video. So yeah, this desert game takes a while. For all my little annoyance about getting water out of that well, that minigame, which was confusing as heck, this is well, it's giving me a sense of scale. I mean, it would appear that the desert we are crossing is pretty big. When we will wander around sometimes when they let you fast travel through stuff you've already beaten, sort of, kind of. You get to cross over map areas, and you can press a button if you want to go inside and interact with them again. These dungeons that you've already beaten, you can just waltz right past. But the I'm getting the sense that, like, we are on a continent. We are crossing a desert that is at least as large as the continent that we were on before. Although, there was stuff on that continent, like, the map continues on in a direction, we just don't have a path to follow. I mean, clearly this game is never going to give us an airship. You remember that town where the Mafia guys were at, and it was kind of off near the mines where the Avatar was first found, I guess? Am I getting two places confused? Either way, off to the far, sort of northwestern part of the map, the way I figured it, well, there was the town that was run by the criminal guys, and we found, it's sort of near the area where we met up with Ray again after his long absence. There was a gate leading off to another kingdom. And it was just kind of like, here's a gate leading off to another kingdom. You can't go through it. When you talk to the guard, you don't have the option of passing, and that was it. Come on, Nina. There we go. Show him how it's done. Yeah, that is a better magic stat than Ray has. I wonder if she could take those things out without his help. Might want to find out, because then we could spend a turn with him trying to steal. Multivitamin. If I'm going to do any more of the fishing minigame, the reason I need to do it is to try to find fish that, like, restore hit points to all we're actually lined up the right way for a change. 1, 2... At least from the placement of the false north star. I'll double check, just because I'm paranoid. I really thought I had this minigame. I do get a bit frustrated with myself when I fail at these games, or, you know, cartoony games that were clearly meant for kids. Now this game, despite having cartoony animal characters, is not ridiculously juvenile, but, you know, by and large, these are games that I should have been able to play successfully when I was, like, you know, 11 or 12. I'm older than that now. I ought to be able to figure out the navigating the desert minigame. This is the kind of thing I could really picture some of the kids I used to know who played video games just getting totally frustrated and put off by this, because it requires you to think, or at least pay attention to instructions, and they basically wanted to smash buttons and kill shit. And again, I also knew a kid who'd beaten, like, legit without using any kind of guides, which didn't really exist back then anyway. Had beaten, like, I think, like, Ultima 5, or no, Ultima 6, which if you try to play Ultima 6, just run around fighting enemies, leveling up like it was a traditional console RPG, you're not going to get anywhere. That's a game where you need to be... Oh, what the hell? I didn't mean to do that! Oh, shit. I hope that that doesn't come back to bite us. I was supposed to be making camp, and I started talking... This is my standby excuse when I fail at StarCraft, which I'd mentioned earlier. Like, when you're providing commentary, you're not focusing 100% on the game, and you make mistakes you wouldn't have made otherwise. We are now over length of this video. We have gone over the 30-minute mark. And like I said, I'm just going to keep going anyway. Fuck it. Me? I'm fine. You should be worried about yourself, because you're freaking wasting water. What's his name wearing the fur coat? Are they going to end up in love or something? Usually when a male and a female character are that openly hostile towards each other in these games, they aren't in love. I'm alright. I think we're going to make it, Avatar. Is God testing us? What if God was one of us? Stranger on the bus. I'm holding up okay, but I think our little engineer might be having a rough time of it. Coughing up hairballs all over the place. What do you want to do? I want to recycle some of this water. Viable option, folks. Not something that I would be eager to do. Not something I would jump up on before it became necessary. But we should be able to stretch that water if we brought a. You know, we have the Whoa, 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 whoa. Luckily, we were still facing the right direction, but I started off before I did my usual check. But yeah, we have the empty canteens after we finish the water. You keep bringing them with you. You don't drop the empty canteens. Not just because you don't want to be a litter bug, but because you need to be able to use those canteens to make new water, if you know what I mean. If it's the difference between life and death, folks, you gotta be willing to drink that pee. And if it comes down to it, you know, yeah, I'm traveling in the desert with other people. I don't know why this suddenly became something that would be a good topic of conversation, but if I'm traveling in the desert with other people, get it? Maybe you have your own canteen and you mark it so that if you do, or if you are forced to make your own water, you can go ahead and use your water first. But if it comes down to it, folks, people are using water at different rates, or something happens to somebody and they've made some water, but then they die before they get around to using the water they made. There comes a point where you gotta be willing... Ooh, the background's changing. I think we are making progress. You gotta be willing to drink the water somebody else made if it comes right down to it, folks. If that's gonna be the difference between life and death. Yeah. Dude said we have like 3 nights of walking in front of us after we finish this and are ready to turn north. I'm happy that we're seeing the backgrounds change a bit here. Looks like there's some rock formations or something off to the west there, but... we can't back away from it. I said that we have to get it to disappear completely. But yeah, we're supposed to have, like, throat's getting dry. Here I am talking about drinking pee because I wasted one thing of water. I believe the reason we needed so much water before is because I went off in totally wrong direction. Probably we've got water to spare if we do the trip correctly. Maybe not a ton of water to spare. That's it, folks. It's possible we went a little too far, but it's time to start heading north. False North Star's over there? Yeah. It really does look like there's something over there by the false North Star. Could be like a mirage, or it could be one of the places you're supposed to visit for hidden treasures. But the directions... well, let's read those directions. Let's talk about those monster trucks. No, we have to camp to read the directions. Never mind. The big thing that directions switched up is east was switched over to being north. But the north... the when to travel north part of the directions stayed accurate, I believe. Curious if she can one-shot this thing. I grabbed the antidote despite not being able to hit it, apparently. Ah, she can almost one-hit it. Nice look on its face when it gets hit, too. This might end up being a double-length video, but I just want you guys to get the whole desert marathon feel. Oh, you know what? Make sure Nina's able to finish this thing off before it ends up attacking anybody. Trouble! Make it a double! Double! Make it double! And she was not quite able to finish it off, but Avatar's there to finish up. Is anybody using the Midas Stone? Should probably be using the Midas Stone. No, nobody's using the Midas Stone. There we go. Now he'll be desperately slow, but that's fine. And we got multivitamin. Totally worth it. We are going to ignore the temptation that is what looks like some kind of city over there, and follow the directions we were given explicitly. I can either on screen with frame skip or off screen always check into that later. I'm starting to think that well, the fact that we can actually see it is making me feel a bit better, because it means that if I check the notes and we were supposed to head north by northeast or something, that you know, we'll be okay. So it is rising. If we make it to any kind of plot advancement, not necessarily getting out of the desert, I guess I'll call it a video, because now we really are like, we're 40 minutes. And that stupid camel thing will automatically take us back to the beginning, but it won't take us through the other way. Tells it to get to the oasis. Do you want to, Jack? Do you want to save? Follow the North Star to the north. Then we can see the evening star directly to the west. Head west. That's where it lies. Keep going west until you can no longer see the evening star. And then head north again. After walking north for 3 nights or so, you should be able to see the oasis. Okay. Good, I'm fine. Don't worry. Leave the fighting to us. Phew, let me rest for just a minute. You can rest all day. Are you sure we're walking the right way? Sorry, we're okay. I'm sure we're doing okay. Yeah, they say the same things regardless of whether you're walking in the right direction. Is this God's way of saying fuck you? I mean that we're not supposed to meet with a god? Is this God's way of saying you should have gotten an appointment? What do you want to do, Russ? The temptation to use frame skip is pretty high at this point. But would I have had frame skip if I was playing this game on the PS1 when it came out? No, sir. Of course, I hate to admit it, it would have been mentioned being 12 and playing games of this genre and style and difficulty. I was a little bit more than 12 when this thing came out. Good bit more than 12, probably. I continue to walk because I am a guy who is walking. I continue to walk because I'm a guy who's walking. If you go into the desert, don't rush. Don't use frame skip, baby. Woo! Thanks for the advice, Bosen. Thanks for the help, big man. Stop jumping me. I will follow these directions I was given. I don't understand how astronomy works, but how would the star always be to the north? I mean, I guess interstellar different distances. Yeah, never mind. Your change in perspective from where you're viewing it from is like infinitesimally minute compared to the distance between you and the star. But I actually used to at one point. I was able to get A's on math tests that used that sort of thing as an example. Like, you know, basically it would be like trigonometry type of stuff. I'm trying to remember now. Was it? No, it wasn't stars. It was satellites. You would have to figure out satellite is this far off of the Earth, and the satellite is this far up in the sky, and its angle is this. The angle that you can't your head up and look at it is this, and you're looking directly at it, so how far is the hypotenuse of the triangle, blah, blah, blah. Trigonometry folks. Sines, cosines, tangents. I used to know how that stuff actually worked. So nothing she did really seemed to make much of a difference to this thing. I don't know if this snap will do that much damage. Did my... Oh god, I thought my emulator froze for a second. I was ready to be seriously pissed. Yeah, bitch! No damage at all. Ouch! Hey, what is War Shout? Huh, interesting attack. Seems like the kind of thing that, it's making me flash back to Mystic Arc is what it's doing. There was characters in that who used, like, War Shout. Liftoff? This never seems to do any real good, but... No. Trying to avoid wasting healing items I'm gonna need, but I think I can buy more beef jerky. I mean, the Avatar could use magic, but Nina's just so freaking worthless in this battle. I hate to waste the Avatar's turn. He might be the only one that can harm this thing unless I go with a Were-Tiger again. It's stirring music! We built a band platform on the battlefield in RTK 11. Yes, my attack power is increased! Now I'll eat beef jerky! Flying kick. You don't have beef. Fine, buddy, you gonna be like that? Oh, this sucks. I was hoping I would get a... I figured I'd get a shot at doing the, what do you call it, hone in your attack on that specific target spell before he, but the Avatar is slowed down by, amongst other things, the Midas Stone. Oh, I actually did get the defense down off. Maybe better defend here. That's a pretty cool defense, pose she got. Usable at 0 AP. I was really hoping that wouldn't happen. Ooh. You know what? I haven't oh shit. I haven't saved in a really long time. Yeah, I should be able to run away from a giant rock. Okay. Yeah, I can't really afford to be fucking around with stuff like this because I haven't been saving. So, yeah, we're just going to pretend that didn't happen. And when they need to, now because they died, they have to stay at a hotel before they'll get their max hit points back. And I don't even remember if we found the treasure. Ah, sucks. I really should save state, but I'm worried about messing up the recording. Get a little revenge here. Oh, I didn't know I had a spell that does that. That's kind of interesting. I guess I don't have anything that, don't have anything for him to get more, magic points, unfortunately. Finish them, Nina! Or come close to finishing them, but don't actually do it. Oh, damn it. They've blinded me with pollen! You have no choice but to drop items now, and Nina actually defeated it with a melee attack after all that nonsense. We got a crocodile tear out of it. Now, are they still blind? No, but they have decreased max hit points until they stay at a hotel, which is frustrating, because we're going to visit God. There may not be a hotel in, you know, Godland. And we're rapidly heading up towards a double-length video at this point, which is not what I wanted. Oh well. I've been putting out one video. I've been putting out these simultaneously with Final Fantasy 13, but that has routinely had really long videos, and this one usually I've been able to keep it pretty close to 30 minutes, so... I think I've said this before every time I have a long video in this series, but no, it's only fair that this one also occasionally goes a bit long. They must be giving off light, whatever the hell is over there, because during the night you can see it and during the day you can't. So staying at camp will not... Oh. Why would God wish to create such a place as this? This place sucks. Oh, yet religious fanatics will fight over it forever. Doesn't this beat all? This is like quickly and pointlessly insult the Jews and the Muslims. JG, that's a great idea. Nothing bad ever happens to somebody who just like pointlessly insults religious groups. Oop oop oop. Why do we have to go through all this? We're almost there, right? Aren't we? Yeah, we should be. I know this video is getting pretty long, Nina, I understand. Let's go ahead and get rid of our guys who are not at full health anymore. And hopefully they have decent equipment, because... yeah, whatever, good enough. Actually, with that horrible, horrible agility he's got... might as well get his agility down to 0. I may end up regretting this, as a matter of fact, just in case, because I haven't been using save states, and I then get out of the habit of saving with the game's regular in-game save system. But there's no particular reason for me not to save. So let's save. And I will save over... I'm keeping a slot where we can go back and have Tipo and the young Ray and Chibi Avatar. Much like you'd always want to keep around a save slot where you still have Lance Slambert. Break camp after resting. Yeah, Albert, I should say. I don't know if I have Legend of Dragoon on the mind or what. Well, this is disorienting. That little town that I thought I could see is gone. And these, those group of 3 that are moving around are in a totally different part of the sky now, but It's getting dry. You should have some water. Shouldn't have wasted water, JJ. It's gonna come back to bite you. And moon tears, you'd think that would work as water, right? Damn. I need to split this video anyway. I mean, when a video starts pushing an hour, I always... Somehow that's like the magical line. If it gets up to 45 minutes or so, I'm fine. If it goes over 45 minutes leading into being like double length, I always want to be like, you know... No, split it. But I really wanted us to have one video of crossing the desert. Maybe that was a foolish idea. Also, I don't know when I'm going to get another chance to record this game, so I'm kind of hoping to get a decent amount recorded, but I don't have too much longer I can record in this sit-down. So the idea that I'm only going to get like 1 or 2 videos out of this because one of them is over an hour long. Oh, thank goodness, folks. It should be around here, shouldn't it? And there we are. Plot. I'm calling it a video. When we come back, plot has happened, so we must be done. Well, not necessarily done, but we got far enough in the desert to trigger plot. I'm the Mysterious JG. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. When we come back, I will return to 30-minute approximate videos. Goodbye.